Hey guys, back again with another video. So this is the second part of the arrays series that I've been doing. So in the first part I've talked about one-dimensional arrays, and in the second part I'll be talking about multi-dimensional arrays. You can see on the top right hand corner you have the I button. You can click on that, you'll be taken to the one-dimensional array part, and I'll also leave a link below in the description section, so you can go to the one-dimensional array and watch the array part 1 series, which is on one-dimensional arrays, and this video is on multi-dimensional array. I'll be using some of the concepts which I've used in one-dimensional arrays in multi-dimensional arrays. It might be a bit difficult to understand, so please do go back and look at that video and then watch this. In the previous video I had used this image here. Now when you think of one-dimensional arrays, you can think of this as a box with a pointer, which is pointing to a set of boxes storing information of one-dimensional array in just one dimension, like just rows. What is multi-dimensional array? Like, although you can think of that as like something like a rows and columns, like this and this, instead of just this in one-dimensional arrays, but what Java asks its user to think of multi-dimensional arrays in a different way, so that people can just go beyond the spot of just a two-dimensional array with having just rows and columns to way more. So out here what Java says is that think of multi-dimensional array as it's similar to one-dimensional array, but there's one twist in it. Like this box, the same way even this has it, but this box points to a set of things that are stored, the data that is stored. But in multi-dimensional array, think of the box pointing to another set of boxes which are going to point to the data. You can think of it as a container having 3 boxes. So the big container has 3 boxes, and inside these 3 boxes there is data. Whereas in one-dimensional array, it will be like one box containing 3 compartments, and in each compartment there's just one single data, like just the number of the roll number of a person. So it's like that. But multi-dimensional array is a bit different. So you'd be having the box, and inside the box there are 3 compartments, and inside each compartment there are 5 compartments which have the data. That's how multi-dimensional array works. So there's a difference in them. So this helps user think of it in a different scope. Now you might remember how you use the single dimension array. So we wrote it as int with the brackets, then int array, or another way to do it is int array brackets. Now that is for a single dimension. Now for multi-dimension you can think of that as, so for multi-dimension you can think of it as int array and 2 brackets you have. So this, in this case it would be 3 3, because what you initially have is you have 3 boxes. That is, out here you had 5, you would have 3 here, and then you would have 3 here also. So it would just be 3 3. So it would be just 3, and this also would be 3. So that's how it works. Now I'll show you Java programs which will help you understand how multi-dimensional array works, like addition of 2 arrays, or displaying the data inside an array, or multiplication of the 2 elements in the array. Like if you write an array like this, as the image shown here, this is how it will be shown. So it has 4 columns and 3 rows. So that's how it is. You can think of it as a of 0 has 4 compartments inside it, and a of 1 has 4 inside it, a of 2 has 4 inside it. As you already know that it starts with 0, but we mention it as starting with 1 out here. So if it's 4, it starts with 0 and the last index would be 3. So now we look at a program where you put values inside the array. As I've already told you, you can think of multi-dimensional array as array of arrays. So each of those boxes have an array inside them. So it does not have to be that each of those array have to be of the same length when you already know the elements in the multi-dimensional array. So when you don't know it, it's safe to put it as all of them have the same number of arrays. So what I do is, I say the first one has 1, 2 elements, and second one has 3 elements, and third one has 1 element. Now I'll be showing you a way to access each of these elements. Like if you look at this one out here, to access that, as I've already told you, it starts with 0 indexing. So this would be 0 of 0. and this would be 0 of 1. Now 0 of 2 does not exist because you only have two elements, so 0 and 1, only these two are there. Now the next element you want to access would be 1 of 0, a of 1 of 0, and next would be 1 of 1, 1 of 2, and this would be 2 of 0. Now this should be able to display the result as 1 for the first one, then 2, then 3, and then 6, because it's 1 comma 0, then 2 comma 0 is there. So I'll save this. You have to remember to save this as same as the class of the array. So multiarray.java, I'll save it like that. I'll open the command prompt. In here I'll type in java c multiarray.java. It's compiled, a class file is created. Now I'll type in java multiarray. As you can see the result, so 1, then 2, then 3, and then 6. So that's how it's supposed to be displayed, and it does display it that way. As you can see in the image here, this is how the array would be analyzed, and you can think of it this way. Now let's say you want to display all of them, like instead of writing system.out.println, you want to display it using a for loop. Now in that you will be using a nested for loop, which means a for loop inside another for loop. So how do you do that is, so this is how you would like display if the arrays have different number of elements. Now what the first for loop does is, take the array and you name it as inner array, and it's of A, like it should go only till that end. Now the inner for loop, what it does is, it says, so out here the data type is a int, like you had specified it out here, the data type to be array, and I name that as a variable as data. And from where do I take it? From inner array. So it's like each element of the inner array I take it. When I do system.out.println of data, it would display the data like each element in the inner array. Now when I run this for loop, what would happen is, it would like access each element in the inner array until the end, and then once it reaches the end, it will come out of this for loop and I'll go to this for loop, the outside one, this for loop, and then it will take the next array, the inner array, and then it will again go in there until this is finished. This whole thing will be running. So once all of it is finished, all the inner arrays are accessed, it will come out of the main function. So I save this code, I open my command prompt. Now since I have made some changes, I have to compile the code again. So I do java multiarray.java. So now I will run the new class file multiarray. So you can see what it has done. It has taken each of these for loops, and the first for loop it will take, so it will take 1 comma 2, and then it will go inside this for loop, and as it said in data, so it will only give the integer of inner array, so it will print 1 and then 2, and it will go to 3, and then it will come out of this for loop. So first it will print 1 and 2, and then it will come out of this for loop, and then it will go to this for statement, so it will go to the next inner array, which is 3, 4, 5, and it will take the data, separate data, so first 3, then 4, then 5, and then this for loop will get finished, and then it will go to this array, so which is only 6, and it will go here, it will take the data and print 6 and then come out of the main function. So this is how you can do it if the A has different number of elements. Now if you have the same number of elements, there's another way to do it, which is up to you to decide on how to do it. So I have made some changes in this code. So initially I have said int A, the array has like equal number of elements. As the first array has 4, second array has 4, and third array has 4. In that case, you can do it in a different way. So I goes from 0 to 3 from the first statement, that's what I say, and the second one from 0 to 4, because the first for loop, what it is used to access is the separate arrays like this, then this, then this, and then the inner for loop, what's it used to access is the elements inside each of these inner arrays. I have 3 arrays, and each of these 3 arrays has 4 elements inside them. So 3 inner arrays and 4 elements inside each inner array. That's what this and this for loop is used for. And a system.out.println, I say A of I and J. I would be, as I told you, is for this axis, and then J would be the inner one. So I and then J. So when I run this, when I compile it, java c multiarray.java and then java multiarray. As you can see, so to show the difference, I have put another system.out.println statement here. So the first it will do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it will come out of this inner for loop. Then it will print this one, which is just a blank space, and the next line. Then it will go to this for loop, and then come here again with I being 1. So first time it will be 0 and 0, and then it will come up to 0 to 3, and then it will come here and it will be 1, I will be 1, and then it will come inside, so it will be Z. Again j will start from 0. So this is how you can like print an array which has equal number of elements inside each of these inner arrays. And I have previously shown you how to print when each of these inner arrays have different number of elements. Now using this you can like perform various functions. So in the next video I'd be showing you how to access each of them and perform like matrix multiplication or matrix addition or something like that. Stay tuned in for the next video where I'd be explaining you how matrix works and how you can use that in Java. On Java, the concepts, and then some of the problems which will be really helpful for you to understand the basics of Java, and I'll slowly progress into a different zone of Java. Stay tuned for that. Please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.